Think your Ford can't make it past 200,000 miles? You're dead wrong. Countless Ford F-150s, Escapes, and Fiestas have rolled past 200,000 miles with nothing more than regular maintenance. The secret isn't luck or magic. It's knowing exactly what your Ford needs and when it needs it. Skip these steps, and even the toughest Ford won't make it. But follow what you're about to learn, and your truck or car will outlast your neighbor's fancy imports. Miss these key maintenance points, and you'll be shopping for a new vehicle way sooner than you planned. The data from repair shops across the country shows a clear pattern. Fords that follow proper maintenance schedules regularly exceed 200,000 miles, while those that don't often fail before 100,000. Let's get started. Number 1. Change your oil every 5,000 to 7,000 miles. Let me start with the most important thing you can do for any Ford engine. Change that oil religiously every 5,000 to 7,000 miles. You don't care what the oil life monitor says, you don't care what the manual claims about 10,000-mile intervals. Those extended intervals are marketing, not reality. Here's what happens in repair shops every single day. Customers come in with seized engines, timing chain stretch, and turbo failures. When technicians ask about oil change history, 9 times out of 10, they followed those extended intervals. Ford's EcoBoost engines are particularly sensitive to oil quality. These turbocharged engines run hot and work hard, and old oil turns to sludge fast. Ford F-150s with the 3.5 EcoBoost regularly make it to 400,000 miles with 5,000-mile oil changes, but the same engine can be completely destroyed at 80,000 miles when owners follow the 10,000-mile service interval. The oil change itself costs you maybe $50 if you do it yourself, $80 to $100 at a shop. Compare that to a new engine at $15,000. Use full synthetic oil, stick to that 5,000 to 7,000 mile schedule, and your Ford engine will reward you with hundreds of thousands of trouble-free miles. Number 2. Service your transmission every 60,000 miles. Ford transmissions get a bad reputation, but here's the truth most people don't know. When properly maintained, they're actually quite reliable. The problem is too many people treat them like they're maintenance-free. They're not. Whether you've got a 6R80, 10R80, or the CVT in your Escape, that transmission fluid needs to be changed every 60,000 miles maximum. For the 10-speed transmission in newer F-150s, the recommendation is actually 40 to 50,000 miles, because those units are more sensitive to fluid condition. Ford's 6R80 transmissions regularly go 300,000 miles with regular fluid changes, but they can fail catastrophically at 120,000 miles when the fluid is never touched. When transmission fluid gets old, it loses its ability to lubricate and cool properly. Always use the correct Ford specification fluid. For most automatics, that's Mercon LV. For the CVT, it's CVT 30. Don't let anyone talk you into universal fluid. A transmission service runs about $200 to $300. A rebuild costs $4,000 to $8,000.
Number 3. Replace your coolant every 50,000 miles. Ford's orange coolant system is actually pretty good, but only when maintained properly. The recommendation is changing your coolant every 50,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. Don't wait for Ford's 150,000-mile interval. That's way too long for real-world conditions. As coolant ages, it becomes acidic and attacks seals, gaskets, and metal components from the inside. In Ford engines, water pump failures, heater core leaks, and head gasket issues commonly trace back to old, acidic coolant. The EcoBoost engines are particularly sensitive to coolant condition. These engines run hot and rely heavily on proper cooling. Too many of these engines overheat and warp cylinder heads because the coolant wasn't maintained. Fresh coolant should be bright orange. If it looks rusty, cloudy, or has floating debris, it's overdue for replacement. The job typically costs $150 to $200 at a shop, or about $50 if you do it yourself. Compare that to a new water pump at $800 or head gasket work at $3,000. Number 4. Maintain your brake fluid. Your brake fluid absorbs moisture over time, which lowers its boiling point and can cause brake fade or failure. The recommendation is changing brake fluid every 3 years regardless of mileage. It's cheap insurance for one of your vehicle's most important safety systems. Ford uses DOT-3 brake fluid in most applications. The fluid should be clear to light amber when fresh. If it looks dark or cloudy, it's overdue for replacement. A brake fluid service typically costs $100 to $150 and can prevent expensive brake component failures down the road. Number 5. Replace your spark plugs on schedule. Ford's engines are sensitive to spark plug condition, especially the EcoBoost motors. Most Ford engines need new plugs every 100,000 miles, but the turbocharged engines often need them sooner, around 60,000 to 80,000 miles. Here's the critical part. Use the correct Ford-specified plugs. Don't try to save money with cheaper alternatives. Too many engines run rough, misfire, or even damage pistons because someone used the wrong plugs. For EcoBoost engines, the factory plugs are usually one step colder than standard. This helps prevent pre-ignition and knock. Aftermarket plugs might not have the same heat range, which can cause serious engine damage in a turbocharged application. If your Ford has been sitting for years without plug replacement, be careful. Sometimes old plugs seize in aluminum heads. Plugs can break off during removal, requiring expensive thread repair. If you're not comfortable doing this job yourself, take it to a shop that knows Fords. Number 6. Check your battery and charging system. Ford's electrical systems are sophisticated, which means they're sensitive to voltage issues. A weak battery or failing alternator can cause all kinds of strange problems, from check engine lights to transmission issues. Most Ford batteries last 4 to 6 years, but extreme temperatures can shorten that significantly. Test your battery voltage regularly with a multimeter. You should see 12.6 volts or higher with the engine off, and 13.5 to 14.5 volts with the engine running. When you do replace the battery, stick with a quality brand that meets Ford specifications. Number 7. Replace your air filter regularly. A clean air filter helps your Ford engine breathe properly and protects it from dirt and debris. Most air filters should be replaced every 15,000 to 20,000 miles, or sooner if you drive in dusty conditions. This is one of the easiest maintenance items to do yourself. Most Ford air filters can be replaced in under 5 minutes with no tools required. A quality air filter costs $15 to $25 and can improve fuel economy and engine performance. Number 8. Maintain your power steering system. Many newer Fords have electric power steering, which is essentially maintenance-free. But if you have an older Ford with hydraulic power steering, replace that fluid every 50,000 to 75,000 miles. Old fluid gets dark and can damage expensive steering components. Use Ford specification power steering fluid or a high-quality alternative that meets Ford requirements. Number 9. Service your timing belt or chain. This one depends on your specific Ford engine. Some have timing belts that need replacement every 60,000 to 100,000 miles. Others have timing chains that should last the life of the engine with proper oil maintenance. If your Ford has a timing belt, don't skip this service. A broken timing belt can destroy your engine in seconds. If you have a timing chain, focus on regular oil changes to prevent chain stretch. Number 10. Replace your serpentine belt. Your serpentine belt drives critical accessories like the alternator, power steering, and air conditioning. Most Ford belts should be replaced every 80,000 to 100,000 miles or sooner if you see cracking or fraying. A belt failure can leave you stranded and potentially cause engine overheating. The belt itself is cheap, usually under $50.